Hello, everyone. Silver here. Uh, I'm still feeling kind of ass, but I'm getting better. This is filmed after the maintenance. Uh, UDK Barguest is finally out. Melusine Ruler is finally out. And this was probably what the maintenance was for, was to add these characters. It's three characters. Oh, excuse me. Three new servants. Uh, Keitku Miko Sir. I That's not what I remember her being called. Uh, but we have Melusine Ruler and UDK Bargust. Again, I'm not going to. I am not going to spend Sync Quartz on any of that. I'm not spending my summon tickets. I did get 30 for like 200-day login just now. Uh, but there's new stuff technically. Um, there's new story to the event finally. Uh, fuck. I might be able to stream. I might be able to. We'll still have to see. My heart is still kind of like racing. Uh, this is filmed several hours after the World of Guns. I took a nap. Uh, it's filmed several hours after the World of Guns video. Um, so again, I'm doing a backlog system now. You will notice that there are 30 extra St. Quartz entirely. And that is because of the 200-day login. Uh, I would have went over the story, but I hadn't started playing. I might start doing that more, starting on like the next event if I continue doing videos on FGO. Uh, which I might actually, because it's pretty decent. Like, oh hey, here's free to play content. Now I am doing what everybody suggests you should do. Find a servant you want, save up all of your St. Quartz, and watch until they come out. Uh, I can't remember the exact amount they say that you would need to get that servant, like a guarantee. And most of the time, it's for like uh, making sure you can get like a 5-star version of that character. It's still not a guarantee that you'll get a 5-star or five. You'll get that 5-star character and get 5 NP. There we go. That's it. Uh, but yeah, I don't typically do that. I just really want Mori Nagayoshi. Shinpachi would be cool because I used to know some people uh, who were. It was my sister and her friend were very into Fate. Um, one of them, they all had like the Shinsengumi members. One had like Hajime. Uh, my sister had Okita, and I was supposed to get Shinpachi. So that's your kind of like lore for the day. I do not talk with my sister much anymore, to be fair. I don't talk with her a ton. Uh, I've never done that. I cannot believe I've never done that in this. Um, hmm. I don't even know who would be a good idea here. Fuck it, I'll just put normal Barghest. Excuse me. Then we'll scroll down. I had been doing some of the advanced quests because it's pretty good to get. The advanced quests give you CEs, craft essences, that increase the drop rates of farmed materials, uh, which is really nice. And for every 3 advanced quests you beat, you get 9 Sate Quartz. So that's a pretty high amount. Because each advanced quest is only 1 map, as far as I can tell so far. But they're all like puzzle maps, essentially. You have to figure out what to do. The wolf game so far was the hardest for me because it was like you actually had to think about what to do a little bit more. Uh, Mostly because wolf game was you have to kill all of the imposter wolves, basically, or they were cannibal wolves rather. Uh, every turn that passed, one wolf would die on the enemy team, and then one of your uh, allies would die. And then there were wolves with rolls. Uh, and you had to be very careful. So basically, oh yeah, and if you full cleared the entire wolf side, you would lose 2 units. So you had to kill at least 2 per turn. And you had to save the hunter, which is the archer. Uh, you had to make sure the archer was okay. Because the archer can prevent one of your. Technically, if you do it right, you can prevent 2 turns of losing a unit. Uh, so you would have to kill just one of the wolves for 2 turns. It was genuinely very difficult. I didn't mean to do it that way. It was genuinely a difficult advanced quest. It took me forever to actually get it done. Don't ask me why either. Why it took me forever to actually beat it. I might just be dumb. And that's probably the truth as to why it took me forever. I'm just dumb. I've got a cat meowing in the background. Uh, but again, my whole account, I think the only thing I've ever spent money on this account, because I've had multiple accounts. I've started and stopped the game multiple times. Uh, and I've only recently gotten back into it because it's gotten extremely free to play friendly in comparison. If you couldn't see by my fucking roster of servants, it's super free to play friendly because there are so many ways to get sync quartz now. It's like super easy to just get a ton of sync quartz. Uh, it's not hard at all anymore. Before, it was a bit more like, oh, well, you have to be extremely sparing, but they've put a whole lot of things that allow you as a new player to just get a shit ton of sync chords going through either the story, uh, leveling up servants, all of it. Even just doing the bonds of servants gets you a ton of stuff to boost your progress to catch up to the rest of the FGO community, really. Like everybody that's current, I would say. Because I've beaten Paper Moon. Uh, and let me tell you, it was rough getting to Paper Moon. But Paper Moon itself, I believe that's what it's called. The excuse me, the first thing of Ordeal Call. It wasn't as hard as like the Lost Belts I had been doing. Uh, Let me show you probably the difficulty of Lost Belts because starting out in the Lost Belts right after the Singularities, because I had skipped the 1.5 until later. I only did 1.5 when I was like uh, in the middle of one of the Lost Belts. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break and do like the 1.5 storylines so I can get some free sync chords. Uh, but I can show you the. So like, I will say Ordeal Call, doing Ordeal Call, I think it's Paper Moon. Let me double check. That's the new one. Yeah, Paper Moon. Easier, genuinely easier than Lost Belt 1 for me. Because Lost Belt 1 was genuinely a very hard part. The prologue, you are forced to use a very bad version of MASH. Uh, and that's it. Only MASH, I believe. Through most of it. I think you can use DaVinci in parts. But it's basically just like story. Then you get into Anastasia, which is really hard. It's a big jump up from like Babylonia. Even the Grand Temple of Time in Solomon was super easy. The final singularity, super easy in comparison to Lost Belt 1. Camelot is normally the hardest part for new players. Once you get to Camelot, it kind of ramps up immediately in difficulty with Gawain. But after the first Gawain fight, it kind of like levels out again. And then you have Babylonia, and then Solomon. Solomon is basically just free resources, like free summon tickets. That's it. Uh, the main records are completely optional. The main record 1.5 is completely optional, but I recommend doing them just because that's free sync quartz. They count toward every mission arrow giving you a sync quartz fragment, as well as when you beat it, you get 10 sync quartz. So that's 40 sync quartz just from the bonus sync quartz alone, not to mention the countless arrows that are in it. that are in each one that give you Sync Quartz fragments. Uh, then you have like Anastasia, go to Damarung. Uh, I don't think I actually had that much of a problem with this. I can't remember if I had a problem with Sin or not. Which one is this? Oh, Sin was okay. I didn't really have that much of a problem with Sin. I'm trying to find the ones that I had an actual problem with. Yuga Kestra, Yuga Kshetra. Sorry. Atlantis and Olympus were hard. Uh, you kind of after Anastasia and you get used to how the Lost Belts feel. Uh, Go to Damarung, Sin, and Yuga Kshetra are pretty easy, and then you get to Atlantis and Olympus, where there's a lot more hard battles. Avalon Lefay wasn't actually that bad, and then Nahui Mictlan is the last Lost Belt. It's genuinely hard because you have several fights that are kind of like uh you have to do very specific things to win. You can't just like use whatever you want. And then at the very end, it's like a really strange. I really liked it how it worked, but I did have to redo it once because I was doing it wrong. Because you have to use like you can't use your units. Like if you have a full team, you're gonna waste your units very quickly because it's kind of like the Tesla Cup. Oh, yay. The swimsuit versions. It's Gyaru Gozen. I don't know if that's probably not offensive. She's obviously very much supposed to be like a Gyaru type of girl. It's obvious what she's modeled after in that. We'll put this. We'll put this. We'll do this. Because these units I have basically maxed out. Uh, the welfare units I basically have fully maxed. I don't have to worry about them too much. Uh, where the fuck is that one girl? I need to put her in my party for maps. There she is. I do need to have her in my party for maps. Uh, I didn't do that event much. The event where you get these, because these weren't my favorite. This one specifically, this event, I didn't do much. Uh, I didn't try to get that to NP or to max limit broke because it was kind of like, oh hey, do you just want some free craft essences? Yeah, I mean they're not great. They're really situational. I think one of them had like a debuff, like it was prevent one debuff for the first time. And that was like one of its features. So I said, "No, I'm good. I'm gonna save my shit for another event." And then I ended up spending several apples, like leveling up units instead. because I figured I should probably after the last map, uh, after the last battle of fucking Nahui Mictlan, I was like, yeah, I should probably have all of my units like max ascended at the very least. Uh, and then the foot fetish event was pretty good as well. I didn't full clear that event, by the way. I did not full clear that event. Uh, but I did beat it at the very least. Uh, I beat the event, didn't full clear it because it was a genuinely decent event. Uh, and it also had the whole, oh hey, when you use a unit, they're kind of taken out for a short period of time. Uh, I'd say a short period of time, but it was like 6 hours. So it was important to have units leveled up to be able to actually be useful in the maps. Wait, is this? Okay, so she doesn't have a form change. That's good. I was kind of scared she would do a form change and then her NP would change. Because the normal Melusine has a form change where she can change from a single target arts NP to an AoE Buster NP. But this one is arts AoE. For some reason, that reminds me of like Lancelot, which makes sense because she is technically Tomlin Lancelot. It reminds me of Lancelot Berserker instead of like actual Lancelot. Because there's Saber Lancelot and Berserker Lancelot, and that really reminded me of Berserker Lancelot's NP rather than standard Lancelot, which uses Alendite or Erendite. Uh, which I guess makes sense. It's weird that we would just now get a version that uses like something similar. Because Berserker Lancelot, like, fucking flies into the air, takes control of a jet, and then, like, sprays you down with a minigun. So, like, his is cool. I really want Berserker Lancelot, but I don't want to spend in the story summon right now to try to get him. But that's what I typically do. Because the story summon, I feel a lot of times is better because all of the units out of it you can get at any time. Sure, it's very big, and you're not going to get, like, let's say, some of these quote unquote like EX and S tier units that people say are like EX and S tier, even at like NP1. But you're still getting units that you can get to NP5 that can become very pivotal to your team. Uh, because any damaging NP feels like it does not do enough damage if it's anything less than like 3. Because an NP1 Bazette does not do nearly enough damage for the NP, whereas even my NP3 Bazette does a lot of damage in comparison. Again, I got very lucky with my Bazette pulls. I wasn't even trying to get Bazette. It was, I pulled her once on accident, and I was like, okay, sick. Pulled a couple more times off that same banner, just trying to get units. And then I pulled her. I pulled 2 of her in one same pull, and I was like, well, I guess Bazette is going to be one of my main units now. And she became one of my main units. She's like my main carry. Uh, except in battles where she's less useful, like type matchups that aren't good for her. Uh, I don't use her as much in. Sometimes I still put her in because she's good to tank several attacks and deal damage with her NP because you can use it straight out the gate. Why can't I do the Servant Fest thing? Is my question. Do I have to be at Servant Fest? A shot, right? If that's a thing. Because it says day 1. Maybe it unlocks after the game, like after the story of it. But that wouldn't make sense either to me. I'm only equipping this to her right now because it's got very high buffs due to the bullshit that comes with it, like the club's bullshit. I still think Cherry Icicle is much better for Bizet. Which, I hate to say it, Cherry Icicle is an event CE. So it's not widely available. I had to do an event to get Cherry Icicle. I'm pretty sure it will come back out during Christmas. But this was a Christmas CE, to be fair. I got this one by doing the event for Santa Carna. So, do keep that in mind. That's not a super easy to get CE, but it's really good for Bizet because she starts at 50. I do have the plus like 10% due to append skills, so she starts at like 60 something. And then you use her skill, her second skill, and she's immediately NP available. Uh, so it's very good for her, especially because I use her mostly for her NP. She does a fuck ton of crit damage as well. Like if you do a QAB uh, chain with her, even if the quick part is her Noble Phantasm, I always do Buster Arts quick. So it would be Bazette Buster, Bazette Arts, Bazette Quick. The quick being her Noble Phantasm. It does so much damage. It does so much damage, especially to casters, because she's a caster she does high damage to casters. Like, even her Append skill, which I don't have the caster one, her Append skill does extra damage to casters. What? Okay. I'm just gonna do this. Well, I wouldn't have enough immediately. They're very good at character design, but they do choose some rather young looking characters, which I know some people have an issue with, is the younger looking characters in this game. Uh, Such as like Melusine. Even though like Melusine is supposed to be a lot older, she's a fucking dragon. But it's like I get where people are upset about it. I like Melusine's design, and the fairy Knights of the Round Table have very good lore because they're all rather tragic. I do think it's weird that her Valentine's thing is basically her saying, "Yeah, no, we're going to be married eventually. We're going to be married. You are my mate." It's like, okay, do I have a choice? Do I have a choice, dragon lady? No? Okay. I don't have a choice then. Uh, but she has like future sight or some shit is the lore implication there. She's got some type of future sight that lets her see the future, and she predicts that you are going to be her mate. And from then on, she's just like, hey, you're mine. Which in its own right is funny. The Valentine's events, I've watched a lot of the ones that I had, are very funny. They're extremely like comedic because like Galatea gives you a life-size chocolate Galatea, but then she's like, well, maybe that's a bit too much. So then because she's a sculptor, so she has to like chop it down to a small Galatea, to a small chocolate Galatea. I got God, remembering like Nemo Marines. Anybody who paid attention to the story of fucking of Nahui Mictlan is going to understand my pain of like seeing the Nemo Marine. It's so sad to me. Uh, you can understand. I cried. This game has like the actual story mode of this game, like the full story, is extremely like it's very good, but it makes you hurt. It makes you hurt a lot. It tries to hurt you, and it succeeds in hurting me every time. It very much succeeds in hurting me. It makes me very sad, but it's very good. It's a very good story. Ow, ow, my body. I don't. Again, I still don't feel well. So like, I do want to stream. To be fair, this one might be a little bit longer because I'm doing the story of the event. Uh, Again, a lot of people might think that my account isn't like free to play, but the only thing that I've ever spent money on was the initial like brand new account. Hey, make a spawn, make a 10 spawn, and you'll get a guaranteed 5 star, a random 5 star, and a holy grail, and that's it. And I got Ryugi Shiki uh, out of it. That's it. That's the only thing I've spent money on this account with. It's the only thing. Haven't spent a ton of money to get like I haven't spent like hundreds upon thousands of dollars, or else you would see a lot more NP5 like limited characters. To be honest, I don't even have Bazette up that much. Bazette is somebody you can even get at a story summon. So like I have her with a couple NP levels, but she doesn't have that many. To be fair, I don't think this video is getting uploaded until the 24th, I believe, which is quite a ways from the time it was like uploaded. I'm eventually gonna stop mentioning that my videos are backlogged. But again, I do look at comments if anybody has an idea for like something they'd want to see me play on a video as opposed to on a stream. Again, think about it like games like this where it's going to be less uh, like a game like this is perfect for a video. Where a story-based game, like I'm thinking about doing like Neo 2. I've been playing a lot of Neo. I had played a lot of Neo, and I feel like that would be really nice to to play on stream. I'm not the best at it, but like I would replay it to I would replay where I'm at, to be honest. Uh, but it's like those types of games where it's like a story experience, I would play on a stream, similar to like Skyrim. Uh, each video is more like a small game. Like you think a game where you might be playing for a short amount of time, or like it's not uh, it's not quite as long as other games. That would be video worthy. So if anybody has ideas for that, go ahead and put them in the comments. I will read them 100%. Uh, I do read my comments. And I know a lot of people don't like it when you immediately. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I probably fucked that up really bad. Oh, no. I probably fucked up something bad, man. I didn't realize there was going to be a section like that where you had a timer to pick an answer. That probably changes up what I'm going to be facing too. Damn it. I do want to know who took Altria's swimsuit though. That's important. That's an important investigation. We need to get to the bottom of that. Can I buy Can I buy it? Sorry. That's the thirst coming out in me. Just oh, hey, can I buy it? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I fucking knew it, man. At least they're all weak to Bazette. Oh, fuck. I forgot. Oh, fuck. Do I have anything that... Damn it. I don't have anything to upgrade that. I forgot she doesn't have... I'm so used to using my normal cherry icicle. I completely forgot I didn't have cherry icicle on. If I got this up to max, if I got it up to max, I could do the same thing I do with like cherry icicle, where it's an immediate NP, but it's currently not up to max yet. I need two more to make it up to max. Uh, and one of those is released in a you can get one from the missions, so I don't have to spend the 200 AP pounds. So that saves me 200 AP pounds. Ugh. And then this is a no battle, and I'll get another Saint Quartz from that. Sure, I'm glad this event did come out because that means another event, a welfare servant that I get. I just get to have another welfare servant, which is nice. Welfare servants are always great. Uh, because again, for a free to play player, like operation only on day one. It never let me do that to begin with. Uh, but yeah, no, it's very it's very good to get a welfare unit just because you get a free 4-star unit that you can just keep. You can just have them and use them. Uh, as like a carry because having certain ones there are certain ones that are better, I would say. I don't know if this because some of them come with single target and some of them come with like some of them come with AoE. The ones with AoE NPs are better in general. Yeah, so this is an AoE. So she's really good. It does depend on, I guess, like what you're fighting. Let's say you're fighting a single boss. You might want something that's more like a a single target because it does more damage to single targets. But if you're fighting like a wave of enemies, uh, you're gonna want multi-target NPs. And most of the time, through most maps, you're gonna be fighting multiple targets. So it's good to have uh, an AOE NP. Um, Also, another way you know that I'm not like a whale in this game is I don't have a kaleidoscope. I do not have kaleidoscope. I've never gotten in my entire time playing the game, the multiple accounts, I've never gotten a kaleidoscope, uh, which is considered one of like the better uh, charge because a max limit broken kaleidoscope just gives you 100% 100% in P charge. I can never tell if Oda Nobunaga in this is a boy or a girl. Because, like, the Demon King Nobunaga has different forms, which are different Nobunagas. Uh, so it's like, I don't know which one is which, really. Like, I don't know if the Oda Nobunaga in this is a girl or not. I can't. I cannot tell. Which is a weird thing to like speculate on if a character is a girl or not. It's such a weird question to have. It's just like you should know if it's a girl or a boy. But I think it's like the genders in this are weird because Kindness, uh, who has a feminine body, is called a male. Uh, because it's representing the male version, even if it's got a female body. Even though the body is female, it is the male kindness. It's the male personality. So that like clears up the lore on kindness. There are versions of like Nobunaga who are female and who are male. Like the Demon King Nobunaga, the final version, I believe, is actually just female. Because throughout the ascension levels of Demon King Nobunaga, it changes between three different Nobunagas. Uh, and a lot of the Nobunagas that you see have like feminine traits, even if they're not necessarily feminine or female. Even if it says Oda Nobunaga, which is a male in history, uh, like that one, it showed it as like a female. So it's very difficult to determine what is male and what is female in this game. Let me double check something. Oh, I can do this. Yeah, I'll actually do that. Go ahead. It gives me another pure prism. Or, as the community says, come prism. I don't care if YouTube doesn't like that. The YouTube algorithm can suck my dick. uh, it has a problem with the word. Maybe just don't have a problem with the word. But the Demon King Nobunaga is a female. Uh, this one is a female. This is Oda Kiposhi, which I believe is a male. And then we have Oda Nobunaga, which I don't know if it's a male or female in this. Because the lore is very questionable on that. Changes depending on her form. It uses the word her. They're closer to their archer self. One vanishes every time these divergences happen. The name Kiposhi was Oda Nobunaga's childhood name. Since childhood, his peculiar behavior led to many calling him a fool. It's a sword he seized from Iwagama Yoshimoto. Neo 2 also happens during the Warring States period. And you get to do this. You get to defeat Imagawa Yoshimoto as Hideyoshi in order to help out Oda Nobunaga. I've played very far into the game, but I would replay it for a stream eventually. Uh, oh, my stomach is not feeling well. And I don't want to edit together like two parts of a video, or like cut out a portion where I'm like sitting here, because I went to the bathroom. I don't know, maybe it was just gas. But yeah, no, my body not feeling well. My body is not doing too hot these days. It's mostly just like past couple days. I feel like I've had a cold or something. So I've mostly been laying in bed, just trying to get over it. I'm debating. I'm debating if I do just clip together two streams or two videos. Uh, because again, I do have to. I feel like I might have to go to the bathroom, which might be a good idea. I'm leaving this in, by the way. I'm leaving this in because it would explain why you see like a jump cut. uh, I think I still have Sony Vegas, but I'm not positive. Um, let me do that real quick. Actually, if I don't have Sony Vegas, I think I can re-download Sony Vegas. I think so, possibly. If not, I'll just clip it together using something. Oh god, it's laggy. I remember the Ishtar Cup. I remember playing that map or that like event. I'll be right back.